Hi, my name is Jeremy Cook, and today I'll be going over my GoPro voice panning fixture. What the idea behind this is that the GoPro camera can be attached to the top of this, and then it'll pan around using a servo motor. When it gets to the right position, the speaker inside will say, "GoPro, take a picture," causing the Hero5 with its voice recording voice capabilities to take a picture. Didn't quite work out as well as I'd hoped at first, but hopefully I'll have something even like a final result to show you soon. So here I am, just CNC routing it with my Zen Toolworks router. This went pretty well, mechanically it turned out quite well. Here I'm deburring the sides. I didn't cut quite deep enough. And then I sanded the top. MDF, I guess the nice thing about it is that it's mechanically it's pretty stable. So unlike plywood, you've got a fairly rigid top and bottom. So when it pans around, as you'll see later, hopefully it'll stay pretty steady. Right here I'm knocking out some holes for the sound to go through, and here I'm inserting a servo that I modified for continuous rotation. That way it can just go round and round, doesn't have to go back and forth like a normal servo. And then right here, what I did, I thought this was kind of clever. I actually put some roll pins in here, cut them all out so that I could just align it like that, just plug it in, and I wouldn't have to play with the alignment at all. Worked quite well. It's probably overkill, but so's the whole project, I suppose. So here I'm lining the different things up. I think there were 5 layers, including the top that just spins around. So there's 4 there, and then a 5th that goes on the top. And another thing I did to attach it, I put some powerful rare earth magnets in here. So here I am gluing it in, glued the other one in, and then the other side, I just put some magnets attached to it, plugged it into the other one via the roll pins, and then when I took it out, I just had them aligned in the correct position. As you'll see later, I had some electrical problems with this, so I thought maybe the magnets were causing some issues. I actually took one out, but I don't think that was the issue because it's still kind of having its problems. Hopefully the next video can be a completed video of this, showing it working really well, and maybe some resulting photos, etc. Using the voice control and stuff. But right now this is just kind of a prototype, and I thought I'd show off the mechanical design because I'm pretty proud of that. Right here I'm trying to glue the sides together using CNA glue. It didn't really work that well, so I used just wood glue on one of the sides, which worked really well. Here I'm weighting it down with my Clemson cup, so they're national champions now, which is pretty great. You can see solid orange. And then I had to use sandpaper on the sides, using it on the table, which worked pretty well. And then I painted it using my dust collection fixture that I made a while ago, and that works really well. And I'm actually surprised at how much I've used it. So I'm marking little notch for my voice control board to go in here. I didn't put all the holes in it to begin with. I guess I kind of forgot about that, but using my trusty manual router or manual milling machine to take that out, made a pretty nice space for it. And just taking off some of the burrs. It's a little bit tight, so I had to actually go back and take a little bit more out, but it fit in there pretty well. I mean, it was all tight. There was a lot of wiring and stuff hanging around, but it did eventually fit as you see right there. So once I knew I had it kind of everything laid out, I actually used hot glue on it so that it would stay in place. So here I am kind of laying everything out and then marking it with my marker. And then I put another notch in the side so that it could, USB port and stuff could go through there. And the Nano could stick out. I actually notched off a tiny bit of it, as you'll see later, with a Dremel tool, which is pretty cool. And I knocked off the end of the servo, and then put the Arduino Nano on there, and the speaker. One thing with that speaker, I don't think it's quite, maybe it doesn't have enough bass or something, because the GoPro, even though it recognizes that sometimes it's not consistent, so I may have to upgrade that speaker for the next version. And I'm just gluing in the voice control board, and it's yeah, So everything went in pretty well. Just doing some soldering here, and I had to actually take out the wires from the voice control board because one of them split off. I had some jumpers that worked quite a bit better. Just taking it off here, and then I plug in the new jumpers. Another thing I did was I've been using my magnetic mount for my GoPro quite a bit, so I put a washer on there. Worked really well. Although that CNA glue didn't work so well, so I had to use hot glue on there. So I put it on there and then use 2 pieces of MDF to just clamp it on there really tight. So there you can see a final view of it. Just goes on and off, and actually has kind of a press fit on the very light press fit. So as you can see here, this is my layout, electrical layout of the Arduino Nano. The servo is hooked up to the 5-volt power supply from the Arduino Nano, which I don't think supplies quite as much current as it needs to. So I think that's probably the main problem with this so far. Other thing is it's got kind of a small speaker coming off the ISD 1820 board. D3, seen in yellow, isn't actually a pulse width modulation pin, so I changed that to D5. And then finally in blue, I'm going to put a breakout board for the USB, so I can just run that 5 volts straight from the servo there. Anyway, it still does work some, as you can see in this little example. It's a bit inconsistent, but you can see a success in just a second. Anyway, it's not quite working how I want it to yet. I mean, it looks like it is, but it's just not consistent. Hopefully next time I'll have some good video of it working, maybe some resulting photos, good panorama, whatever. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you'll subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll see you later.